What's up guys, this is Sin, and today we'll be going over a bunch of cards that I think you really have to get your hands on right now before it's too late, because some of them they're going to be getting much more expensive over time, and the reason for that is because of new support that's coming out, either that's gonna directly help them out or that's gonna indirectly make them more annoying to get. So for example, the new shark cards, they're not necessarily always gonna be seeing play in the shark deck, but maybe they're gonna be seeing play as an engine in the Razor deck. So obviously if you're a shark player, then you really don't want to be behind, you really want to buy your 3 copies of Surfacing Big Jaws ASAP. And there are some other cards obviously that they're literally going up in price directly because of new support that's coming out in a core set, and some of them they're literally coming out in a week. So again, you really don't want to be too late on some of these cards that you can buy right now because they already exist. Anyways, before we go any further, a friendly reminder of course to smash the like and subscribe button. It really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these, and also most importantly, shameless plug for my new Crystron spreadsheet, which I really recommend looking into. I'm proud to announce that after countless hours of work, my Crystron spreadsheet and guide is finally complete and ready to go, and trust me when I say it's a nice one. For only $20 USD, you'll have access to a beautiful, high quality, and user-friendly spreadsheet containing a whopping 50 combos, which include uninterrupted combos and also playing through handshops including Ash, Imperm, every single Molchemy monster, Dimension Shifter, and even Artifact Lancia. These combos also come with relevant information about them, which will help you identify their strengths and weaknesses, and also when they're more optimal than others. The spreadsheet also comes with an optimized deck list containing my reasoning behind every single card and ratio in the deck, which will help you understand the cards you truly need to build a deck so that you don't make unnecessary purchases. You will also find sighting patterns done easy for 15 decks in the metagame so that you can save yourself the headache before a tournament and during your rounds. I've also included alternative texts and engines to play in Crystron, as well as their strengths and weaknesses. Purchasing the spreadsheet will also give you access to my Crystron Discord server, where I plan on bouncing back ideas with everyone on it, and where I can answer specific questions on the deck which can help everyone on it. Finally, once the spreadsheet hits 100 sales, I will do a giveaway where I'll be handing out diverse prizes, such as, for example, a sought-after secret rare, cash money, or a free coaching session with me. I'll be honest with you, everyone who got to check the spreadsheet so far was beyond satisfied, so I genuinely recommend spending the $20 on it. If anything, you'll actually be saving much more than $20 in time, since I've invested over 100 hours understanding the deck, working on the combos, and building the sheet. And you'll even be saving actual money by knowing exactly what to get for your Crystron deck and avoid buying cards you just don't need. If you're interested in the spreadsheet, all you have to do is PayPal me $20 US, and make sure to state your Gmail account in the transfer so that I know who to share the spreadsheet with. If you forget to state your Gmail in the transfer, don't worry, just email me a proof of payment with your Gmail, and I'll share the spreadsheet with you as soon as I can. Unless I'm sleeping, I should never take too long to grant you access to the spreadsheet, so don't worry about the delay. The specs of the spreadsheet alongside all the steps to buy it are at the top of the description, so please check it out as soon as you can. Anyways, with that said, let's get on with the video. That was absolutely beautiful. Anyways, let's get right into it. So the first card is Planet Pollutant Virus. This card is already like almost 9 or 10 bucks. And the reason for that is because if you can play this in your reptile deck like Ogdo Attic, Mitsurugi Alien, you can pair this up with Cosmic Slicer Zero, and essentially you're going to be giving an A counter to every single monster your opponent controls, and because of Cosmic Slicer Zero, as long as this card is on the field, every single monster that your opponent summons that has an A counter is changed into defense, and it cannot activate its effect. So it's basically kind of like a Babuska on crack, and because of the Mitsurugi engine, you can easily surge the Great Purification, which is kind of like a Solemn Judgment, so even if your opponent has like the out to your Cosmic Slicer Zero, it doesn't change anything, you still win. So yeah, it's a really filthy combo. And you don't necessarily need to play this card if you want to play some Mitsurugi cards, because you can still play some Mitsurugi, a Mitsurugi engine in Raziel, and that's really good. Some people are also arguing that it's going to be the best deck in the TCG, which I think it's a really good deck, but yeah, this engine I think is not going to be too expensive. There's only 2 Ultras, and everything else is like a very cheap rarity. So also try to get your hands on these cards as soon as they come out, because I'm assuming that Alliance Insight is going to give them a second wave of support, and if that happens, I think this deck is going to be extremely broken. Okay, so next up is the Primate engine in general, but Lordly Load is the most expensive one by a significant margin. That card is like almost 50 something dollars. He's going up every single time I see it. It's absolutely crazy, but the reason why it's super expensive is because of, you know, another barrel or ether barrel, whatever, that's coming out on Supreme Darkness in, again, just a few days. This card makes Lordly Load that much better, and also it makes Barrel much better. You can play this in White Forest, in Fiendsmith, in Raziel even, in Blue Eyes, obviously. One of the most splashable engines I've seen in a while, and and if you wait too long, it's gonna be completely unaffordable. White Dustin, I don't think is like super expensive, but if you can get your hands on this card ASAP, then obviously that's the best if you plan on playing the Fiendsmith deck, but it's not really a problem because you only need one copy of it. But yeah, again, you can play a White Dustin in your Primate Fiendsmith deck. Okay, these cards are also super expensive, so LZ of the White Forest and Astellar of the White Forest, they also keep going up in price, which is insane. And the reason for that is because of the new White Forest monster that came out in Supreme Darkness, so Azamina LZ of the White Forest. So even though you can't really play Snake Eye cards in the deck anymore because the original Sinful Snake Eye got banned, it doesn't really matter too much because the White Forest deck is already very good on its own. You can play the Fiendsmith engine in it, and again, you can also play the Primate engine in it. It's gonna catch people off guard because nobody's really preparing for a deck like White Forest. They're all prepping for, Raziel and Malice. So if you can play a combo deck that just came out, and, master your combos just in time, you're going to be doing really well. But the drawback is that these cards are super expensive. Again, both of them. And you kind of need 3 copies of LZ if you want the deck to work. And at the very least, 1 copy of Astellar. This card right here, 7th Ascension, is, my god, extremely expensive. And the reason for that is because it actually searches out 7th Tachyon. The good news is you don't necessarily need 3 copies of 7th Ascension because at the current moment, Bonfire is a 3 of. So you already have, 12 starters, so if this comes out, it's going to be 15 starters, and then this is going to bump up the count to 18 starters, which is, very nice for your deck. It's crazy consistency, but it's also a lot of redundancy, so unless Bonfire gets hit to 1, you don't necessarily need all those starters. So if you can at the very least buy 1, because right now I think it's like $20-something, then you're good. And I'm also assuming that 7 Tachyon will be insanely expensive, like maybe $100 for the set, for the card in the set, because I don't think the rest of the set is really good. Maze of the Master, it's not the best. Now, Surfacing Big Jaws is another card that you can play either obviously in its own deck, so the Shark deck, or as a splashable engine in the Raziel deck, but it's not necessarily something that you have to do, and because of that, Surfacing Big Jaws is not really expensive. Okay, so another deck that I think is really worth looking into would be the P.U.N.K deck, because the new support from, I don't even know the set actually, but I think it's the exact same set as the new Dragonmaid support. Yeah, the Rising Scale and also the Xyz Monster, insanely good cards. I keep stumbling upon matches in the OCG where I see P.U.N.K in action. It's good going first, good going second. It doesn't really lose to handshots at all. So the P.U.N.K deck at the current moment is worth absolutely nothing, but that might change if you wait too long. So I think you should just buy the P.U.N.K cards right now. Saint Azamina does not exist yet, but it's going to come out in Supreme Darkness, and I don't think it's going to be too expensive. I think it's an ultra rare secret, I forgot. But if you can buy this before it's too late, because Azamina is coming out in Alliance Insight. Yeah, I know, it's a card that's actually called Azamina. It's really good with Saint Azamina. Again, you don't want to be too late on that either. Crimson Dragon, already an expensive card to like some degree. It's not like super expensive, but still, if you wait too long, maybe it's gonna double in price, and then your Blue Eyes deck is gonna be worth a little bit more money because you can easily summon Crimson Dragon using Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, and then target your Blue Eye Spirit Ultimate Dragon, and summon a bunch of huge boss monsters like Cosmic Blazar or Stardust, Zephyr Dragon or something, I forgot the name, but okay, these ones are really going ham right now. Crystron Citri and Crystron Quarry on Gondrax, I think both of them are like around $20, and for a very good reason. The new Crystron support from Supreme Darkness is extremely good, and these are the only cards that are like actually really expensive and really difficult to find. Everything else is like a common, or Solfnir is a super rare. That one is worth like maybe $5, but these cards, you only need 1 copy of them, so at the very least, you're not spending like too much money. You're spending like $40 on these 2 cards. Again, the rest of the Crystron cards, literally almost free for you. The Magistus engine really has to be bought right now because Magistus Corazzo has been confirmed as an OCG import in Supreme Darkness, and that card is good enough to the point where you can already play a Magistus engine in Raziel, but I don't really recommend it. I think you should wait until there is a Spoon the Seal of Magistus. That card is going to be absolutely disgusting. But yeah, Zorua is worth a decent amount of money, and so is Nina Ruru. Yeah, that card is kind of like an Archphoenix-centric, so it's a really good card. And finally, we have the Dragonmaid cards, which are all super expensive. I don't really understand why. Maybe it's because they're kind of old and they never really got reprinted too much. But yeah, I think Chamber is like by far the most expensive. It's like $20-something. and then these two are like $5 each. This card is getting reprinted in Quarter Century Bonanza, Stampede, so maybe you don't necessarily have to buy Chamber right now, because that card should like drop to like maybe $10 or maybe $5 even, depending on like the rarities that you can get your hands on Chamber. I think it's like in all rarities actually, so that shouldn't be an issue. But like these ones, if they don't get reprinted, then they might be a little more expensive actually over time. That's it for this video right here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon with another video. Peace.